Rock and roll has its roots all around the country. You know that, of course. New York, Chicago, Memphis, Los Angeles, Willimantic. What? Willimantic? It's true. The Shaboo Inn was a cornerstone of music over 50 years ago. Its memory still lives on, even after the club has been long gone for decades. Take a look. We have a trip down memory lane for you.
1976, the Boston After Dark people gave us the cover. And with a headline like that, New England's biggest club is not in Boston.
That's right. It was in Willimantic. This parking lot behind the Eastbrook Mall is where the Shaboo Inn once stood. What a center of rock and roll history. If you wanted to go from being a who to being a who's who back in the 70s, you had to come here. The Foster family and the John family got together in 1971 and instantly created magic.
The second week, for 4 nights, we had Aerosmith.
Within weeks, word was getting out. To keep the acts big, they went to Chicago and booked every blues act they could. They all played the Shaboo.
Howlin' Wolf, you know, Bo Diddley, James Cotton.
And so Willimantic gets put on a map as a rock and roll cornerstone. Don't believe me? More Hall of Famers played the Shaboo Inn than the other big clubs in the entire country.
How many? 25.
How many have played the Bottom Line?
4.
How many have played the Troubadour?
6, maybe.
Pictures of the greats line Foster's office.
This is a picture of myself, Muddy Waters, and my drummer, Jackie Scarangella, in the dressing rooms at Shaboo.
And Foster, now 70, remembers them all.
Cavalier, Tower of Power, Charlie Daniels, Journey, The Police, Elvin Bishop, Dire Straits.
The Shaboo Inn's heyday lasted until the early 80s, when the music landscape changed again, thanks to a little TV channel getting in the way.
MTV was coming in, and it was very powerful. People were just watching videos at home.
They were supposed to sell the building in '82. The doors shut on May 13th, but 3 months later, as it was about to be sold to the mall next door, it burned to the ground. But what should have been an ending opened up another chapter. A band of rock legends, the Shaboo All-Stars, kept the name alive.
What it was, we were just delivering a monstrous musical show in the bar rooms all over New England and the country.
Which is why now, 50 years later, the Shaboo Inn lives on. Every year in Willimantic, on the Shaboo stage, donated by Foster, plays home to a homecoming of sorts. Two guys who had no idea at the beginning what a force they would become for the rock and roll landscape.
Well, we never knew it would grow to this level, you know what I mean? I'm really proud of it. And it's a source of history now. We're not just a thread city, we're a music city. Mm-hmm. And we are. If you'd like to hear more about the acts and the history of the Shaboo Inn, all of Foster's stories, we have some fantastic photos on our website, fox61.com. It also has an extended interview. There you can also find out information on, are you ready for this? The Shaboo All-Stars concert, which they have every year, as we mentioned, is being held this year, June 11th, on the Where Else? The Shaboo stage. I got to tell you, I love this story.
I do too. I had no idea.
Bingo.
And that's why I love it.
And that's and you know and I have to give props to our web guru Doug Stewart, who's been with the station for many years.
Did he tell you about this?
He's the one that said, "Hey, I got a story for you."
Really?
And he knew all about this. And the more I talked to David Foster and looked at the pictures, I was just like, wow, in awe the whole time. So it really was fun. So,
who knew?
Exactly, right? That's the thing.
A lot of people I did not.
Exactly. So there you go. All right, let's talk about the weather.